Alright guys, so apparently Johnny Cage needs middle strikes and he needs to be +6 on block, which I highly disagree with. I will show you guys the screenshots after this video is posted up, showing you guys what the fuck I was reading. There was another individual that does not necessarily agree with my video where I stated that Johnny Cage needs a slight nerf. And you guys can go look that up if you want to. This game is reinstalling because I actually uninstalled this game because I was done with this game and I was moving on to something better. But because this individual said this, I have to address this. So, first of all, we're going to address the +6 situation, right? And I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible because I don't want to talk about this for too long. This individual believes Johnny Cage should be +6 on block, so this is a clear indication that he's not a true Johnny Cage main, and he wants to use an overpowered character. So that way he has benefit into the fight instead of using his brain. So, first of all, if Johnny Cage was to become +6 again, he would be dumb as fuck all over again. Now, I made a video not too long ago, like a few months ago basically, where I stated that Johnny Cage was one of the characters that had one of the strongest combo strings in the game, and I explained to you guys why I said that, right? First of all, if you do 8 minus +6, Johnny Cage's down 4 would become 2 frames, which means that no character in the game could actually challenge Johnny Cage when he went for his down 4, and he did this type of situation right here, which means that you were stuck into a serious dilemma, right? Now, if you try to flawless block him, there were certain characters in the game with shitty up 2s and up 3s, and they still have shitty up 2s and up 3s, such as Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung could not go for his up 3 or his up 2 against Johnny Cage at all, so Shang Tsung would get abused in the corner very easily by Johnny Cage. So if Johnny Cage predicted that you were looking for a flawless block situation, Johnny Cage could dash up and he could throw you very easily. Even if you took it upon yourself to block his down 4, you still have to deal with the high mid mind game of getting restand or put into a combo. Not only that, you had to take into consideration that this character could actually space you out, or he can go for a double down 4 even if he didn't have resources because you were afraid of the nut punch. Now, another thing to take of note is that if you were so focused on flawless blocking this character, he could mislead your timing by going for a different startup time, which is going for a different normal basically, and he could fuck your brain up. Not only that, the character could just easily jump in because you're respecting him too much and you don't know what to do. Now, another thing to take of note is that if you took it upon yourself to actually jump, what will happen is that this character would get a meterless 33% easily on you if the Johnny Cage player knew what they were doing. Now, that's 30%, but you can get more damage than that. It's very optimal, especially when Johnny Cage didn't have his pissed off move. So keep this in mind. This is very optimal. You can get easily 33%, but another thing is that if he had his pissed off move at the time when he was +6, this would cause a problem, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he would get 35% meterlessly every single fucking time, which is not actually fair. And he could still get this kind of damage regardless, right? Now, that's 33%. Now, this combo is very optimal. I think it takes a total of 6 hits, I think. I can't remember. But I think this is it right here. And as you can clearly see, 35%. Now, keep in mind, he is +6 on block, and this situation happens on a daily basis because the opponent does not know how to deal with the situation correctly. So if they don't know anything about spacing, they're going to try and jump up or they're going to try and jump out of the corner, and Johnny Cage can still do this to the opponent, right? But see, you don't know that because you're not actually living with the character. You want everything to be handed to you on a silver platter, and you don't want to have to work for anything, right? Now, if Johnny Cage was to stay +6 on block, he has a forward 4, a back forward 2, and a forward 3, right? That all start up at 14 frames. So back forward 2, forward 3, and forward 4 that all start up at oh, and the back 2, right? That start up at 14 frames. If I was to do 14 minus +6, this nigga would have a startup time of 8 frames, which means that this mid would become 8 frames on startup. So basically what you're saying is that you want your character to be super dumb to where it takes little to no effort for you to challenge the opponent. So characters with 9 frame mids could not even challenge this person. The only thing that you could do in this situation in the corner is to go for a 6 frame poke or a 7 frame poke to check this nigga, or possibly go for a 7 frame standing 1. And that's it. But the problem is, what you're doing at is that he has a down 4 that's going to stop you every single time. And even if you challenge him, he can back up, or he could just wait right here, and then he can whiff punish you and then get himself a combo. But you think he should be +6 on block. Now, of course, back then I was trolling a lot, very hard, because there was a very small portion, excuse me, let me correct myself. There was a small part of me that wanted Johnny Cage to stay +6 on block, because you have characters in this game that are not playing the meta, such as Gear, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and the list keeps going, such as Terminator and Shiva, that are not playing the meta. These characters are MKX characters, and they're not playing that. So I believe that you should be able to fight fire with fire. If you're going to be able to mix me the fuck up, then I should be able to fucking put you into a frame trap, and you should have to work to get out, since you want to use a character that doesn't really take a lot of skill. But hey, it's whatever, right? So we're going to continue on. Now, I understood why they nerfed him, because it was needed. Now, it's funny because you have mix of characters in this game still to this day that have higher plus frames than Johnny Cage, which leaves me confused, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't really give a shit anymore. So, let's continue, right? So, that's what you want, right? Now, keep in mind, if we do 11 minus +6, right? And I'm talking about a shadow kick, right? This will come out at 5 frames. When he did this mid-screen and you tried to backdash, you couldn't backdash. You had to respect him. And if you took it upon yourself to try and neutral crouch his 4-3-4-4, which you could do, you could neutral crouch underneath this dude's 4-3-4-4, right? It was very possible, as you can clearly see here. Problem with you doing that, however, is that Johnny Cage had access to a back 3-4 string that would come out at 12 frames since he was +6 on block. So if you don't believe me, I'm going to do it in the calculator right now. If I do 18 minus +6, you can do this yourself if you want. It will come out at 12 frames. His back 3 will come out at 12 fucking frames. That is crazy as hell. Do you not understand how crazy that is? Let's look at his 4-2. 11 frames. What did I say that was? 11 minus +6, that's 5 frames, right? And this 4-2 is very useful in certain situations, which people don't know about. Now, here's the thing, right? His frame data would change dramatically, right? So you were pretty much stuck into a frame trap. Like, you needed to be very careful on the decisions you made mid-screen and in the corner. If this nigga landed this on you, it was a problem. You would have to respect, which allowed him to do shit like this. And when he did this, he was either +4 or +5 on block when he did this, which was not fair, because it's like he had no end to his offense. His offense never stopped. If you look at high-level players, especially in tournament play back then when Sonic Fox was using them, Ninja Killer was using them, motherfucking other players was using them, they was exposing how dumb this character actually was. You even had the homie Nick Ops even make a video talking about why he needs a nerf. Come on now. Like, come on now. There's people know what they're talking about, bro. Especially on a higher level and a competitive level. Not only that, right? You also have to take into consideration when he was in his outtake variation, this nigga was annoying as hell. That's why I wasn't using the outtake variation. I would use it every now and then, but I would not use it consistently like everybody else would, because I knew why that variation was frowned upon. But of course, in a tournament, you're going to use that variation. If you look at Sonic Fox versus Scar, which I fuck with my nigga Scar. That's my nigga. He was using Kung Lao versus Johnny Cage, right? In the outtake variation. That shit was annoying to watch. Sonic Fox was making it very clear how dumb this character actually is if he's played at a high level. So, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to Johnny Cage being +6 on block. You're basically saying you want Johnny Cage to be overpowered. That's pretty much what you're telling me, right? Now, let's talk about this mid situation. Johnny Cage is gifted with a 9-frame mid that he can meter burn to make himself safe. And then on top of that, he's gifted with a down 4 that creates a high mid situation just in general. So he's conditioning you to respect him with the down 4. Now, of course, it is very possible for the opponent to flawless block you, because it's very common for Johnny Cage players to go for the 4-3-4-4, because you can stagger it to create a strike throw mind game. Or you can stagger it to bait the opponent to go for a down 1 where you can flawless block them. Or you could bait them and block it so that way, you know, you could take a turn back, or you could commit into the 4 string and create a spacing situation by using your back forward 2, or just go for your 4-3-4-4 and that's it. So what will happen here is that the opponent could flawless block you, right? Now, I never agree with this because it doesn't make any sense to me why you're able to do this if I successfully hit you with one of these pokes that give me a high hit advantage to allow me to jail you, but it puts fear into players because, nigga, like, you could flawless block me for no reason when I just jailed you, which never made any sense to me in this game. Now, you can take it upon yourself to hit the opponent with the down 4, and when you do, there are certain things that you can do. You can go for a jailing situation like that. So for people who don't think that actually works, it does, right? And as you can clearly see, the opponent will get hit, right? Now, you can create a strike throw mind situation, or strike throw mind game, excuse me, with this situation. You can also go for a shimmy like this, and you will possibly get a reaction out of them. Now, if they think that you're going to go backwards, they're probably going to throw out a poke, which opens up the opportunity for you to get an opening. Which means what? They think you're gonna go for the shimmy. Guess what happens? Then they get hit with the 4-3-4-4, and they end up getting fucked up. You see where I'm going with this? Like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm explaining this shit. This is really depressing, man. I thought you guys would know this by now, but what else is there? Like I said, he can create a spacing situation. The character can go for the down 4 into the back 4-2 and space you the fuck out. If he spaces you out all the way, he becomes +2, and then on top of that, there are times where his character becomes +4 or +3 on block, which makes him even more scary because his back 4-2 will come out at 11 frames. And my damn fucking battery fucking died in my damn controller, so I'm just gonna have to use my scuff controller real quick. Which I don't want to use this for this, but I'm gonna use it real quick. So, damn, it's kind of weird using my scuff for this. But anyway, he can create a spacing situation like that, and there are times where he becomes +4 on block. So keep that in mind. Not only that, the character can put you into a restand situation, or he can pop you up into the air for a combo and force you to break because you don't want to be put into a restand situation. For people who don't know what that looks like, I'll be glad to show you, right? And this is what will happen, as you can clearly see here, right? So you see what's going on here, right? Because if I end up hitting you, this is what will happen, and now you have to respect. You have to guess on whether or not I'm going to throw you, or I'm going to go for this down one that's going to force you to respect, which if you get hit with that, that allows me to jail you, right? So if I end up hitting you with that shit, right? Let me show you. And then on top of that, you know what's dumb about this? Say, for example, you know, he was +6 on block. He could immediately go directly into this, which would force the opponent to let go of block. And if he has the pissed off move, guess what happens? He'll keep getting 18% because the opponent is not trying to deal with that. So you're slowly killing them and forcing them to make a decision here. And then he gets like fucking, he literally gets like fucking, like 9 damage off of just this hit alone, which is odd. But you like, and it knocks you away. And in certain matchups, this is scary as hell. And the reason why is because, nigga, like you gotta work to get in on his ass now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, you niggas don't know what you're talking about, man. You really don't. You really don't. Then on top of that, when it comes to his rising star, he can do this at any moment and you don't know when. And then his chip damage is really good. So like, if you ended up respecting me right here, I can do this. And look at that chip damage, and then I'm spaced out a bit, and then I'm safe enough to where I can disrespect you and go for an Abare. Speaking of an Abare, I have a 9-frame mid that can condition the opponent to not disrespect me and try to go for an Abare, right? And having 9-frame mids in this game is very powerful because it prevents the opponent from going for an Abare on you, right? And then on top of that, he can use this for an anti-air, right? He could use it as a combo ender as well. So like if I was to put the opponent into a combo, so I'm gonna just do a full combo because I haven't done this in a while. You know, he could do some shit like that. You know what I mean? And you see where I'm going with that, right? So, like he can use this for an anti-air. Like it's active for 7 frames and it's super quick on startup. So a character like Gears or like Terminator, they're gonna have a cold day in hell trying to get on him because they're gonna try and jump in and then he's gonna knock their ass down and they're probably gonna break by accident, or they're probably gonna try and take it upon themselves to use a defensive option, which Johnny Cage is going to take advantage of. But then again, because you have a forward roll, it's bullshit. I wish they would get rid of it. But you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, there's so much more about this rising star that I'm not even going to talk about because this should be pretty self-explanatory. There's no reason for Johnny Cage to have any mid. Do you not understand how dangerous Johnny Cage would be if he had access to an actual mid? He would be just like fucking Liu Kang at this point. There would be no reason to pick Liu Kang anymore. Because it's like, why pick him? Except for the fact that he has dumbass crushing blows and his combos are very basic as hell and stupid as hell in this game. But, nigga, if he had access to a 10-frame mid, right, that would make him dumb as shit in this game. Because you would be afraid to challenge him, and then you would have to deal with the idea that he has plus frames, and then he has a really powerful strike throw mind game, right, to where he pretty much goes for an auto shimmy, especially with the 1-2, right? And then you got to deal with spacing on top of that, and then the fact that he's safe off of it. Do you not understand how destructive your comment is, dude? And then you said that Johnny can get beat up by Jade and Johnny is trash, and why no one uses him? Because nobody wants to work to open you up. And then there was some individual in my comment section down below that posted this up 3 weeks ago, where he stated that Johnny Cage's 1-2-1 and his 1-2-4 is his bread and butter. I don't disagree with you. I understand why you would say that. But then he made it seem as if Johnny Cage doesn't need a flawless by gap. He is not following the rules of Mortal Kombat 11, and Cabal is not doing it either. And he has mix-ups and brain dead crushing blows. I don't understand what's so difficult to understand about this. Look at Cabal. I mean, or fucking Baraka, excuse me. Check this out. Watch this. Now you see the strings I'm going for, right? They're highs. Now watch this. Watch this. See that 1-2? Flawless by gap. Standing 2 into the 1+2, flawless by gap. Motherfucking 1-1-2, flawless by gap. And he has a shit ton of highs. Fucking Shao Kahn even has a shit ton of highs. Right? And he has certain flawless by gaps in his high combo string. So what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you trying to make it seem like Johnny Cage doesn't deserve to have a flawless by gap in his 1-2-1 combo string? That doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Come on, man. Stop beating around the bush, bro. He don't need it. He's conditioning you to respect him already. And then when you do, that's when the problems start. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm giving you guys tips on how you can use a down 4. Oh, and by the way, for people who complain about his down 4, oh, it's too good, it's this, that, this. You don't know shit about his down 4. Now, say for example, Johnny Cage doesn't have any more resources, right? Like, Johnny Cage doesn't have any more resources to where he can go for the back 4 too, like this, right? What can happen is that you're going to respect the nut punch, and then he could do this twice in a row, and now you're spaced out. As if he just hit you with a rising star. It's pretty much the same distance as the rising star. But hey, you know, I don't know nothing, apparently. Johnny Cage needs a buff, apparently. Okay, cool. So check this out, right? So if I go for Johnny Cage's back 4 too, right? People know that you can neutral crouch it, but they probably don't even know that you can do that. Now, if you flawless block him, right? If he was just to go for the regular back 4 too, he's -10 on block. Now, I think Melina can punish him with her advancing forward 1. I'm pretty sure she can. I don't think Cassie Cage can. But I'm pretty sure Melina can because it's an advancing high, and I'm pretty sure he can get punished for doing that, right? But if I flawless block this, look what happens. Like, I'm -20 on block. But on top of that, you can micro duck his shit, right? You can micro duck his shit. Like, people don't know that. People don't know that shit. So I'm gonna show you. Watch this. I'm gonna do that one, and then I'm gonna do the other one. People don't know that you can do this. Like, you can micro duck Johnny Cage. That's why the rising star is scary, because if you try to micro duck him, you're gonna deal with that shit. Now, of course, if you have a really short range up 2 and up 3, such as Shang Tsung, then you're probably gonna have a hard time flawless blocking this character, right? Because your range is shitty, and that's just the developer's fault on that part, right? So this is random, right? So let's see if it's random. Okay, nut punch. Okay, so he's doing nut punch again. So let me random hidden playback. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, nut punch. Okay, cool. Now watch this. Now watch. I'm going for an auto shimmy, right? Now what I don't know if you guys know what an auto shimmy is. I hope you guys do, because I don't feel like explaining it. I'm going for an auto shimmy. I'm not even guessing on what he's going to do. I'm going for an auto shimmy on that. So you can auto shimmy that. So stop complaining about his down 4. I can't believe I'm exposing this. I can't believe I'm exposing my character like this. This is really depressing. Like I'm exposing my character's weak points. Like that's fucked up. Like, because you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and it's actually pissing me the fuck off. Because it's like you're making it seem like, oh, he need complete middle strikes. For people who don't know, if you were to go for Johnny Cage's standing 2, he's +3 on block. His forward 4 is a mid, but it's 14 frames. If you do 14 minus +3, that comes out at 11 frames. So he would have an 11 frame mid. Also, his down 4 is being complimented, because if you think he's going to go for the down 4, guess what happens? That happens. Or he can commit into the string and space you out, and you're probably not going to like the idea that that just fucking happened. Especially if you're a character that excels in close range engagements, such as Terminator. So I don't have much to add here, man. There's more shit that I can explain about Johnny Cage, but I'm kind of done exposing my character like that. I'll probably make a mini breakdown of Johnny Cage's best buttons and explain why these are his best buttons. But for someone to say that he needs mids, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you not understand how dangerous Johnny Cage would be in this game? Because you would be so afraid. He would be pretty much another Cabal, just with better spacing and better neutral. You see where I'm going with that? And then on top of that, he has no flaws by gaps, my nigga. No true flaws by gaps. Every character is following the rules in this game to a certain degree, except for Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage, Cabal, and I think there's probably one or two more characters. The reason why I say Sub-Zero is because he doesn't have true flaws by gaps in his combo string, or at least one of them, right? In one of his combo strings. You could say that his 3-3 is a true flaws by gap, but it's not. It's really not. Now, you could say Johnny Cage is 4-2-1-2, right? Because there is a gap in the third hit, right? You could say that, but at the end of the day, like, I don't agree with you because no one's really going to go for that, not unless he was plus on block. But, like, you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, I just don't understand is how Baraka has a shit ton of highs. And Baraka, he don't really have special moves that can do the shit that Johnny Cage is doing, where he can space you out and create these crazy mind games and shit like that. Like, there's a complete difference between the two. Johnny is better than Baraka. And Johnny has highs. Baraka has a bunch of highs, but you know the difference between the two? Johnny Cage has an easier time getting his highs out because his buttons are better than Baraka's. But not only that, he can condition you to make you respect his buttons. Come on, man. Stop playing with your boy, man. Stop playing with your boy. Like, stop playing with your boy. Like, I even believe when it comes to the Fatal Blow, like, he should have a damage, his damage should be reduced. Or they need to make it to where the opponent can break out of that. Because that's fucking overpowered and that's broken as hell. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. Like, come on, man. Stop playing games with me, man. I don't have much to add here. And of course, people are going to be like, oh, damn, he's back. He's completely back. Not really. Because if you pay close attention, I just now downloaded this game. And I was waiting for the game to stop, you know, doing, you know, the little downloading shit for Johnny Cage or whatever. So, yeah, I just wanted to reinstall this game to talk about, you know, Johnny Cage on why he doesn't need mids. Like, I could have went all the way deeper and explained, and it would have fucked these niggas' heads up and be like, oh, damn, maybe I was wrong about this. But it's like, there's no point. I mean, there's no fucking point. People with real logic and common sense, especially on the people who are higher up, as in higher level players, they know why Johnny Cage doesn't need that shit. Then on top of that, like, even Sonic Fox, he doesn't necessarily like going against Johnny Cage when it comes to like when he's maining Joker. Like, there's a reason for that. Like, you know what I mean? But then again, there was a guy in my comment section down below disagreeing, talking about I don't agree with you or Johnny Cage or Sonic Fox about Johnny Cage being better than the Joker. Well, check this out. If you look at Johnny Cage's combo strings compared to the Joker's, who's safer? Figure that shit out.